In the toughest jails in America, black prisoners are listening to a new voice of authority.
Praise be to Allah, Lord of the worlds, the beneficent, the merciful, owner of the
Thousands of hardened criminals are turning to Allah.
Here alone we seek for help. Show us the straight path.
All over the country, black Americans are converting to Islam, now the fastest growing religion in the United States.
There's only one truth. There's no God but Allah. If a man is not serving Allah, he's serving Shaitan. There's no other way but Islam, period. And all the knowledge in the world comes from this book.
In the streets of America's cities, men like Rawsan Tamir are spreading the word of the Quran.
It's the invitation to learn something about the religion of Al-Islam from our holy book, the Quran.
It's a phenomenon that has gone largely unnoticed and unreported.
You wouldn't want to be in
Islam could become the most important black movement in America since Martin Luther King fought for civil rights in the 60s.
If the masses of the African American public was to take on this religion, the revolution would have been fought and won.
It's for all human beings. Because when you think about all human beings,
Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar.
In ghettos which the civil rights movement passed by, a homegrown Islam is gaining converts.
Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah. Ashhadu anna Muhammadan Rasulullah.
Islam is a new call to arms in the war against drugs, alcohol, and crime.
Islam is a certain way of life that it provides you with a blueprint for living.
Ahmed Abderrahman was a member of the militant Black Panther Party in 1971 when he was convicted of murder. He served 21 years in jail.
If a large percentage of our community just did the simple thing of not using any drugs and any intoxicants, any alcohol, it would in itself bring about a change in their lives. And in many African Americans who become Muslims, just that rule in itself changes their lives positively.
In the inner cities, more black men go to jail than to college. Where 2 out of 3 children grow up without fathers, street gangs are the only family for many young blacks.
How you doing, brother? You all right? Yes, sir.
Ahmed was still on parole when he took us into the ghettos of Detroit. He too was once a member of a drug gang.
Very much the way animals mark their turf. You know, gangs put signs out to tell other gangs that this is their area, to establish that this is their turf. Through the glamorization of it by gangster rap, is spreading throughout the country where young people see gangs as being, these kind of gangs as being one of the main ways to be hip or cool. Gang turf is not just based upon pride that you're a member of another gang, you don't come in my neighborhood. It's based upon money. We alone sell drugs in this neighborhood, and if you sell drugs in our neighborhood, we'll kill you. So quite a few of the killings that take place and the crimes centered around the drug trafficking and the fighting among gangs for the control of the drug traffic.
Brother, brother, can't you see?
Brother, brother, can't you see?
What Allah has done for me.
What Allah has done for me.
In some jails, 1 in 3 black inmates has converted to Islam. Ahmed became a Muslim after 5 years in jail.
I could not deal with the stress that I was under by myself. Islam provides a system of brotherhood, of others who are striving with you to bear what you're facing and to develop as human beings, even though they're in an inhumane situation.
How many of you have been here more than once? How many of you have been here more than 5 times? 5 million people in the United States are under the supervision of the criminal justice system. If it continues to increase, this number will soon rival the 6 million enrolled in the nation's higher education system. Frightening. Across the country,
some of these men will return to the gangs after their release, but they all take Islam with them. It seems to offer hope of rebuilding the social and family ruins in the ghettos.
I look in your faces, man, and it saddens me. Because every time I look at you, I see a fatherless child. How many of you have children? If you're in here, who's guiding your babies? You have become Satan's, the Shaitan's instrument to take your children and fill up the prisons with.
Young prisoners claim Islam will change their lives.
A lot of the youngsters at my age, we're not really addicted to drugs. We're addicted to the street life and the way of life, chasing a dream, chasing a false dream that we have been brought up and saw. The drug dealers, the big cars, the fancy cars, you know, the pimps and the players and the hustlers, we have all chased them dreams, you know. And like myself, I'm not chasing that dream no more. I'm dealing with reality today. I cannot be a pimp, player, hustler, none of that. I'm just a man, you know.
In a district of Chicago known as Terror Town, the Imam or priest, Rami Mohammed, leads Friday prayers. Rami spent 5 years as a U.S. Marine. He taught himself Arabic and converted to Islam while working as a prison guard.
If thou hast willed our defeat, thou will be worshipped no more.
Amin was once charged with a double murder. He's one of several former gang members who attend the mosque.
Allah subhanahu will suffice you. Nashhadu an la ilaha illallah wahdahu la sharika lahu. Lahul mulku wa lahul hamdu yuhyi wa yumeet.
Every day Amin joins Rami on patrol. Their mission, to drive out the shops that sell alcohol and the gangs that sell drugs.
Not much, man. I ain't seen you in a while, man.
Mike is a gang member who was paralyzed when gunned down by a rival. Rami suspects he still deals in drugs and is trying to persuade him to become a Muslim.
You say yourself you'd be willing to come wholeheartedly, and even with anyone that you know, to something that's positive. And we're saying how this would actually aid the cause of Islam, and we could actually really raise up a strong Islamic nation.
If we had more jobs up in here, then, you know what I'm saying, there wouldn't be no reason to sell drugs. Like her, she just graduating from high school. She ain't gonna get no good job, you know what I'm saying? Then she gonna, you know what I'm saying, probably look at the streets again.
Many of the stores selling alcohol in these ghettos are owned by Arab immigrants, most of whom are Muslim. They are one of Rami's key targets.
You see here, one of the major problems in America stopping the Islamic movement is many of the Arabs who come from many parts of the world are coming to America.